No matter what God asks of you, give it your all.
May the Lord give you peace, brothers and sisters, and welcome to Daily Bible Wisdom. Today is Sunday, and happy Sunday to each one of you. Sunday is a special day. Going through this whole week of reflections, I recognize two important aspects in our daily life this week. One is in our reflection, we learnt about the people of Israel, that they were traveling, journeying in the desert, and at last they reached the promised land as promised by God through the help of two great leaders, Moses and Joshua. On the way, they experienced all kinds of experiences. Above all, they experienced, as Joshua would conclude, God's providence and abundance. And then we have in the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus all the time with the people, different people questioning him. He answering them wisely and ending the week with blessing to the children. Today on this Sunday, I would like to share with you three aspects of our life. Gift of faith, gift of freedom, and the danger to faith and freedom. This Sunday, we celebrate two important events for us Indians. One is the Universal Catholic Feast of the Assumption, and then for us Indians, very particularly the feast of the independence of our country. When I talk about gift of faith, I talk about Assumption. Assumption is a special feast of faith for us. Mother Mary is a special person, special gift of faith that God has given us. Thousands and millions of people are going after in honor of Mary, reciting the rosary, visiting different pilgrim centers dedicated to Mother Mary. What more? This wonderful person, so close to God, so faithful to God, has appeared to so many people in different places. All the time, importantly, giving an invitation to the people that they need to remain faithful to her Son, Jesus Christ. This is the invitation Mary gives even today. And what is so special about the Feast of the Assumption? Assumption sets Mother Mary free from this earthly space. This is the special gift of faith for us. That Mary, as the Mother of God, who bore the Son of God, actually worthy of every honor that could be bestowed on her, not just by us human beings here because we love her, also by God himself. So the ordinary people's faith, people of all the world coming together, recognizing in Mary as a wonderful personality, a faithful person, a person gifted with tremendous faith in God, who knew that God would achieve what he has promised in her, that God was faithful to her, that God is present here and now. Even now as we speak to each other, God is present in this world. Even if this world is sometimes problematic, complex, sinful, God is with us. God is still present with us. Whether politically or spiritually, there is a time where we are all disturbed. God is still present. Mary is a special witness to this. And therefore, Mary is a gift of faith for all of us. Asking us all the time, never to give up our faith in God. For he is the author of our life. And he guides and directs this world. Feast of the Assumption is that time where we all, like Mother Mary, raise our minds and hearts to God, to his will, knowing well that God will carry out his promises to us. He has done that. And he will continue to do it. May Assumption be a special day for all of us to recognize God's goodness to Mary, God's goodness to this humanity, God's goodness to each one of us through the person of Mary. The second aspect on this Sunday that I want to reflect with you is the gift of freedom. While each of us human beings long for freedom, at times we may not understand what freedom is. While we celebrate today's 75th political freedom from the English or the foreign powers in our country, I still question whether we are still free citizens in this world. Yes, we are to a degree. Yes, we are not to a degree. We thank God today for all the freedom fighters, for all those who marched forward, those who laid their lives for the political freedom of our country. Because a country, when it is politically free from foreign powers, can have its own aspirations, its own dreams, its own plans. And that is what we are Indians today. We must raise our hearts and minds to God, thanking God, as Rabindranath Tagore would say, that we must raise our hearts and minds to the heavens where the freedoms are. Brothers and sisters, today we recognize that while we may be the beneficiaries of all the hard work done by our ancestors who tirelessly worked for this important aspect of a nation, we recognize their sacrifice. We salute them. We thank God for them. And what do we do today? We want to live by this great gift of freedom. We want to honor the memory of these people by living our freedom, as I call it always. Freedom means responsibility. We want to live this freedom that all of them fought for with responsibility for one another. Responsibility, not a fake one. Responsibility, not as what we call giving freebies to people. Responsibility means for our country today, human dignity. Today, as we celebrate the 75th anniversary of our freedom, I recognize personally that in our country, we still need to reach out to the people. There are so many people who are not recognized. There is a lack of human dignity. Our children and women are still abused and raped out there. Thousands and thousands of people are still under poverty. There are many people who are jobless. Many people who have shattered their dreams. We have a long way to go. Not forgetting the good things that we have received, we also need to be challenged. Today, freedom for India means responsibility. The leaders of our country need to stand up at this time, because if we want to lead our world, then we need to stand up with responsibility. We need to take care of our country in every dimension possible. Political, social, environment, and spiritual. For India is a spiritual country as well, and spirituality of India matters to the world. For our feelings about God is important for this world as well. So therefore today, when we honor 75th anniversary of our freedom, let us recognize freedom means responsibility. But let us thank God above all for the gift of this freedom. And finally, third aspect that I want to share quickly with you is the danger that we face for faith and freedom. It is true today in this world, which is more and more secular, more and more consumeristic, these two aspects are either not lived well or misunderstood. Freedom and faith are either misunderstood or not followed at all. They are in danger. Faith, because lot of people think that we don't need God. I would tell them, no, everything goes according to Him. If He blinks for a moment, we are gone. So we must recognize today, even for us Catholics, this has become a great danger. That there is less number of people attending church in many cities. Less number of young people attending church and participating. Less number of children as well coming to the church and participating. For me, this is a real danger for our church today, that we are not attending to the next generation of our church. Freedom too is endangered by our irresponsibility in different fields in our country. We must pray today that God may truly help us to go beyond our limitations, that we may become more and more inclusive in our country, that we may not pass laws, bills in the parliament that actually endanger the human dignity and the security and freedom of people. We pray today, brothers and sisters, on this Sunday, that whether we attend the church or we attend online, we pray, we raise our hearts and minds to God, that like Mary, we may remain faithful. And the fact that we have enjoyed the gift of freedom, we may enjoy it with responsibility. May you have a wonderful Sunday today. Happy feast and happy Independence Day. God bless you.